Wyvern.
Welcome back to Routes Unknown. This is a part of RPGHour Studios. We have a lot of different things that you can go find out and learn more about. Let's go ahead and get everybody's introductions. Starting with Morgan, then Crow, then Jules, then Rainey.
Hi, I'm Morgan. My pronouns are they, them, and she, her interchangeably. You can find me on all the socials at Serena Bezos. And I play Natalia the Crooked, who is just your good old lesbian trucker who's got sticky fingers.
And hi, I'm Eric, aka Eldritch Crow. You can find me everywhere at Eldritch Crow on the various social media things. My pronouns are he, they, and I'm playing Chris, let me check my character sheet. I always forget which one it is. The expert. And his pronouns are he, him.
Hi, I'm Jules. I'm playing Theo, who's a spell. I'm going to start that over. That did not go well at all. My name is Jules. Pronouns are she, her. I'm playing Theo, whose pronouns are he, him. He's the spell slinger. You can find me on Twitter at SQLPi. It's SQLPI.
And before we get started,
hello.
Oh, sorry, I forgot you.
Hi, I'm Rain. Now I'm gonna restart over because that's not going well. Apologies. Hi, I'm Rainey. Rainey. My pronouns are she, they. I am playing Agnes Wolf, the professional. Her pronouns are she, her. You can find me here on Twitch at twitch.tv/RainyKeys and over on Twitter at Rained Keys. However, I am taking a hiatus for the rest of the week because I am graduating on Saturday.
Yay!
So yes, that's it. Take it away, narrator.
All right, before we get started, just a reminder, we have basically closed the invites to Discord, and everything is available if you go over to gilded.gg/RPGHour Studios. That's one of the cool things about Gilded is it actually gives you a link. You can also find my profile if you go to gilded.gg/RPGHour. So you can not only do a specific link for your specific server, you can also do one for yourself. No, they're not sponsoring this, but I am very excited because the cool thing about it is there's a lot of added features. I almost had us meet in there tonight, but not everybody that is here tonight is on the server, so we didn't do that. But you can stream directly from it. You can do a whole lot of other neat stuff that you can't do on Discord because you can stream from Discord. But they do have calendars. They have actually schedulers where you can literally put your availability on days and everybody can say yes or no. And you can have individual forums and you can have subsites. So not only are you just putting a little drop down box and people have to go to that drop down box and mute that, you literally create a sub-server where other information is and whole other sections of information. So you can literally pull everything out and you're not having to worry about, well, somebody doesn't want this, they're going to mute something that you really want them involved in. There's a lot more control, a lot more stuff that you can do. And a cool thing, if somebody links their Twitch to their account, the Twitch bot literally lets you set it up via some simple commands, and you can just drop everybody in your server in there that you want to be able to have it go to a specific chat thing, and it will just pop up every time. And currently, even though a lot of the people in the server are there, I have a specific channel where the Twitch bot drops it. Currently, Crow and I are the only two that get dropped in there because we're the only two that apparently linked our Twitches to our gilded accounts. Because I have people on that I know for a fact stream, and there's don't drop there.
Listen, do not call me out on main like this, because I don't even know what the heck happens half the time with my own freaking Discord and Streamlabs OBS. I ain't about to go in there and start fighting Gilded too.
Actually, it's a very simple setup, but I will say this actually wasn't towards you. This is for somebody that I know is not going to be in chat, so I can call them out without calling them out.
Your call out had splash damage.
Yes. Unintended but hilarious splash damage.
Unintended but hilarious. Name of the next podcast.
Oh, I don't have time for it anymore. Please don't do this to me.
Excuse you, that's going to be mine, and that's going to be entirely devised play.
Well, talk to me later. I'll tell you something cool. I feel like there's something else I'm forgetting.
Hey, showrunner. Is this the season finale of season 1 for Routes Unknown?
No.
Oh.
I think you're one episode off.
Yeah.
I'm tired.
Not only are you one episode off, but I already actually mentioned that we're one off from that somewhere. Somewhere it is out there. And now I'm trying to remember where I put it, because I feel like you should have seen it. And I don't mean that like I'm not calling you out, but I mean like I feel like I put it in a place.
Oh, it's in the gilded.
Okay. I was
schedule.
like, no. She's everywhere that I post stuff, so she should have seen it. Like, I feel like I directly posted this. I was like, no, come on, guys. So yes,
Please
no.
forgive my only entire.
Time doesn't exist. It's fine.
Yeah.
So second to last for this first season, which this episode is a setup for the finale, which is next time. Which we are gonna start. Those of you that received letters. We're going to do a quick describe the feeling of the letter. We're going to go into what those is in those letters. Describe what the feeling is that you're going through, anything that you are questioning or anything that you have about the letters. And then we're going to do reveals at the tea shop the next day in regards to what the letters said. So, also, chat, if you can tell me if I look better on this or not. I changed the type of light bulb I was using, and I just realized I may or may not look better. So,
you're more bright.
You do.
Okay.
Chat, feed the vanity.
No, not like that.
From a photography student standpoint, you absolutely do look way better. You have more fill, and your color is good. You're good.
The light that's in this room is like one of those tiny candelabra light bulb things, and so like I didn't realize this until I had to change one time, and I haven't changed the bulb in the 5 years that we've been here. I've only changed it twice. So, but yeah. So those of you that received letters, please give your feelings on the letters.
Did we go in order? Who got theirs first?
I don't remember the order that y'all got yours in.
It was me, Chris, Nat, kinda with the... I don't know if there was a letter specifically, but you got weird shit going on with your dad's lighter.
Oh, I was like, what letter are you talking about? I have no idea.
No, just the letters. So the letters that you got and the letters that Chris got, and then we will move into the next day at the tea shop.
Chris, you go. I've been talking too much already.
Well, I think Chris came through in the form of an email I have written down from last time, and it just had the subject line Cerberus, or Cerberus, however you'd like to pronounce it. I think for him, it would probably be a solid like 2 to 3 hours before he opens it. And I think most of that feeling is just, all right, this is pulling the trigger on some kind of loaded gun, and I don't know if I want to do this right now. So he puts it off for 2 to 3 hours, makes himself some coffee, and then psychs himself up, sits down and opens it and reads it. And then I would assume we'll reveal that the next day at the tea shop.
Absolutely.
So, Agnes's letter, which is actually in the form of a letter and has a hat on it. For those of you who missed last episode, Agnes is not thrilled. She is not thrilled at all to be receiving this letter, especially from the way her uncle is reacting to this letter. So, for lack of a better word, and especially because she had to pull some shenaniganery with the chicken house, she feels like she is in deep shit. Just in it deep. Just in the thick of it. And so it also takes her like an hour or two to even like open the letter before she reads it.
So next day at the tea shop, Chris and Agnes are sitting at a table, and the expressions that they have are something that you don't see often on either of them. It's almost as if they received the worst news that they could about a friend or family member, at the same time that they have just found out that like their entire world is turned upside down. Is like they just look like they've got the weight of the world on them, and that just something is just not right.
So, see, you probably just had as rough a night as I did, huh?
Yeah.
So, who wants to share the bad news first? Should we wait till the others get here, do you think?
Honestly, if we talk it out, maybe they can see from our body language whether or not they want to know.
Fair point.
Are all of us there?
Unless you would have a reason not to be, then yes. I
was gonna say Natalia hasn't gotten there yet.
Okay. I'll say Theo's there and is looking around at everyone like, what is going on? Why is everyone acting? Because he's blissfully unaware.
Yeah, boy got a nice sleep.
He took a nap. Like his player did.
Which you needed.
I did. That second shot is a doozy.
I'm not ready because I got mine today.
Good luck.
So y'all do notice something in Agnes's behavior. It doesn't seem to be a conscious thing, but anytime that she puts her hand on the letter, her hand goes to her pocket where she keeps the coin.
I forgot about that.
And I think around that time, Natalia walks in and just, spins the chair around, sits in it backwards, and just like is looking through the menu before she realizes that it's eerily quiet at the table, and looks up and actually recognizes what's going on. And she's gonna like swat Chris in the arm. She's like, "Bro, what's wrong?"
Well, and I think with that, Chris would just sort of set his phone on the table and just start telling everybody what he got.
With where this is from and the kind of information that it could have in it, would this be something that you would let others read, or would you paraphrase it?
Paraphrase.
Okay. I'm going to skip one piece of information, and I am going to DM you that over on Gilded.
You got it.
So Chris starts talking about the email. It appears to be a very long email. Scrolls back and forth a couple of times to get to some facts to try and rework them. But the gist is that, in a way, a vast majority of the UN division that y'all are dealing with has basically, technically, because they are the power structure, they're operating the way that they want, but they've gone rogue from the original way that the UN division is supposed to be run and supposed to be working. That they are changing their call signs and insignias way more often than they've ever done. And it seems as if nobody knows or is respecting the older insignias. Older insignias are basically supposed to be a way that people are able to connect with new divisions and things like that, and basically either get adopted into what's going on, or at least get some information, i.e. why Chris was having issues when he was trying to interact with them earlier. It explains that situation. It's because they're not operating the way that they normally would. It also does appear that certain other folks are kind of other organizations that would normally have some authority or leeway in regards to the FBI dealing with them. Is basically not being recognized. It does appear that something is going on, and it may be a point where people's authority is not being recognized at all outside of the UN and specific government agencies.
All right.
I think Natalia's gonna sit there and think about it for a second and then be like, "So what does that have to do with us?"
Just as you're going through that, DM, would Chris have any idea, like, who was sending in this? Does this have a signature on it at all at the end of the email, or is it just information and that's it?
It does not have anything that directly does peg anyone. However, with the way that certain wording goes on throughout, it definitely does appear to be somebody more on the American side, which means that it would have been somebody from your Marine unit that was getting trained, considering that the unit that you were in was from a lot of different nationalities underneath the UN flag during that time. And the only other members that spoke or that would have written the way that this is using American colloquialisms would have been Marine troops.
Mm-hmm. Sorry, I'm just writing down what you DM'd me.
I think as Agnes just like sort of touches the letter and reaches for the coin again and not really noticing that she's doing this as she like picks up the letter. And the coin is on the table. Like she's probably been have been reaching for it for so long that she just has put it on the table subconsciously. So like this is a motion that everybody sees. And I will also paraphrase the information that I have from my letter. Storyteller, when you're ready.
Check your gilded before you have me do that. I realize.
Oh no! What did I do?
I will say this: after you speak out loud a lot of those things, or as you're regaling it, after you finish paraphrasing, Chris, your Cerberus tattoo, you notice that it is slightly glowing, which it's never done before.
Everybody would notice that just because he's probably wearing like tank top, very casual clothes, like he just woke up.
It's a very low glow. So unless somebody is specifically looking at your tattoo, this would be more something like as you're trying to think of somebody, you might glance at your tattoo. You'd notice that the ink is no longer whatever color it would have been originally. It's a different shade, and that it's also slightly warm. Like you can almost feel like it's
when he feels the warmth, he probably like brushes a hand over it, and that's when he notices it's changed color a little bit. Nat would also probably tell that he hasn't said everything. Like Nat probably can clock when he's not lying, but very clearly trying not to say something or mulling something over further.
I think she's just gonna look like that she knows.
And Chris is just gonna go.
Also, I do publicly strike that from the record of Agnes revealing about the letter. I was not aware it came from people. I thought it came from an organization.
So
I am goof. I am goofies. I am goof.
So if Nat's giving him that look, he's gonna take a minute and like very clearly work his way up to saying a thing. And then he's gonna say, we might run into some trouble.
Why?
Apparently, people from my old squad are being hunted. You're muted, Jules.
Yeah. By who? By what?
Don't quite know. But according to the info, they're getting lured into situations and taken out by creatures we previously captured.
Well, that's
or dealt
fun.
with.
So whose ass do I need to kick?
That is the question. And best I can guess, it's probably the UN.
I can take the UN. Definitely.
I'll distract you. Get him from behind.
Let's go.
All right. And I think Natalia's just gonna go do like a fist bump for their brother.
Before you two start celebrating, the problem is I don't know what branch of the UN we're looking at because the one in town's being weird.
Was it those two nationals? Do you think?
You know the branch. It is this branch. It's just who in this branch is and who in this branch isn't.
Yeah, it's a messy situation because it's pretty clear that left hand ain't talking to the right now.
Well, the face is not getting a foot in it, so
that would make sense. Because usually, I tend to have at least some cooperation with the UN, especially considering how far spread out the good fellows are and how intertangled we can get with the UN. So them ripping up my card was a red flag.
You're muted. Or you turned your mic off. One of the two.
Me?
No, RPG. Yeah. I don't know why they
Thank you.
consider us worth removing, as it were, considering we were mostly just capturing cleanup crews. Mostly. You know, we didn't get to know exactly what the higher ups were doing with stuff, so if they're coming at us, somebody in my squad must know something that they don't like. Or it's somebody from my old squad looking to tie up loose ends. Neither of which is good.
So what you're saying is gotta get the band back together.
I mean, maybe. I don't know if any of the band, quote unquote, is still in town. At least, not any of my guys. If you're talking about the old high school crew,
I don't think I was talking about your Marine buddies, not the high school crew, because
yeah.
I don't know why our
as
football
far as I
crew
know,
be
Jerry went
afraid.
and became a lawyer, and we don't want that.
No, fuck that guy.
So yeah, be aware that hanging around me might put a target on y'all. Apparently,
Nothing like I'm used to.
Please.
cops are a little different than killers.
You know I've been in jail, right?
Fair point.
Also, personally, I don't care. This coin's, and Agnes just like sort of flips the coin. It's gonna find its way to its next mark eventually, and if that means I shuffle my mortal coil early and get stuck with it, so be.
There's probably a point where like he nervously just like tucks whatever dog tags he has inside of his shirt. Just because he's feeling kind of awkward about it.
Aww.
Agnes just kind of like nods a little bit. Smart idea to start doing that.
Yeah, unfortunately, tattoo's a little bit harder to hide.
You know, it'd be funnier, or at least take some pressure off you. I'll wear your tags.
1, no. 2,
That was an offer.
no.
So, quick question.
Because I know I wouldn't get him back.
I would give these back.
Did Theo just blush at the idea of somebody else getting to wear Chris's tags?
No, because it was his sister, and he's in complete denial that even happened. Nope.
I think Chris is going to look at Nat and just say, you still haven't given me back my leather jacket.
Striking that from the record.
That's because it's comfy as shit and doesn't fit you anymore, Mr. Big Muscles.
Well, that's a terrible thing to have heard. Chris, I know what we can do. I have a friend with a tattoo gun. I could get his tattoo gun, and we can cover up your tattoo. Or something else. I'll make it look like a tiger.
Tiger? Go
I
get
can draw.
a tiger. No offense to you, Theo. Theo, you had a very good idea.
Thank
You did.
you.
But
did.
calling puppy dog over here tiger?
I mean, it could work.
It could.
Chris
It's a
is
good
just gonna
idea.
give his
It's a last
best,
resort.
like, lieutenant's glower at Agnes laughing over the tiger thing, and like look at Theo and basically say, "Yeah, tried that. Didn't take."
Okay. Hmm.
You and Tats are something different.
Gotcha.
Also, like, a side note, with the lieutenant glower, Agnes just very cheekily just like flips Chris off.
Well, long sleeves it is then.
Gotta put the guns away, buddy.
I guess Son will no longer be out.
I'll be right back. And he gets up and goes and grabs like one
I
of
think
his
as
other jackets from the van.
it's like Natalia's like, I'm still not getting back the leather jacket.
Fuck you, Nat. And
Yeah.
You was up.
Can I have the leather jacket?
Fuck yeah, just as long as he doesn't get it.
At that point, Agnes is gonna hide the letter back in her pocket.
also, Nat, just to be petty, he comes back wearing the exact same leather jacket except one size up.
And then they're just gonna sit back, cross their arms, and be like, "See, I told you it didn't fit you."
He's just gonna drink
Twinsies?
his coffee.
What was that?
I was to say, so y'all are twinsies now?
No,
Poor
no, no,
Theo.
it's Theo and Nat.
And now Theo has a
Theo
leather
and Chris are going to be twinsies.
Mm-hmm.
And now we have solid evidence that I'm not nearly as cut as Chris, but that's okay.
At least it fits you.
Yeah.
It's true. It was massive on me.
Chris just has weirdly broad shoulders, okay?
He was a football player. What do you expect? Or quarterback, rather. Natalia was still also a football player, but still.
Yeah, it's probably still big on Theo.
Yeah, he's just a wide boy.
Just thick.
It's so great.
Thick with 3 C's.
Italicized, spaced out.
Storyteller.
Yes.
Considering what I know of the letter and its contents and such upon said letter, can I tap into my weird and see if I actually have a past life that dealt with the messengers?
So every time that you attempt to tap in and try and locate somebody that had any kind of dealings with it, you feel a little blocked from it, and you almost immediately feel drawn to touch the letter again and go for your coin again at the same time.
What's up?
Nothing.
Uh-huh. You know, I have a
So-
whole library you could use if you need to go cross-reference stuff, right? Not everything's got to be mystical.
No, you already tried cross-referencing, and you found nothing.
I did that earlier about the Shadow Council, not about whatever's in your thing.
You mentioned trying to search for what's in my thing.
I don't know what's in your thing. I couldn't have searched for it.
No. Chris. Do we remember the appointment that we had prior to the incident with the house? That was not the Fae?
I don't as a player, but that's fine. I think
Okay,
I
so
probably
I am
didn't write that
breaking
down.
meta. I'm breaking meta right now just to say it's the Jaunty Hat Party.
Yeah,
But
but
this is only meta me speaking. Agnes is not stating the organization out loud.
I just can't remember if Chris knew about that meeting or not. That's all.
Then go ahead and do a die roll, a d6. And if it's high, you do. If it's low, you don't.
That's a 1. I don't.
It doesn't seem
Makes
familiar.
sense.
I was a bit busy, dealing with the Baba Yaga hut. It's fine. But at the same time, I say this because I actually do have lore library as one of my Haven things, so it
I think
gives
you
us
tried suggesting doing that, but I remember our storyteller saying that this particular party or these particular people are very elusive. If you don't remember my uncle's entire spiel about them, I don't blame you. But
Well, yeah, but I'm saying is it's the lore library can trigger anytime you just try to make like a historical reference or whatever. So if there's stuff in that letter that's like beyond just the organization, we might be able to use that to find some stuff.
there is nothing beyond the organization. It is just a notice, and that is all. To put it bluntly.
Well, he's just gonna kind of like sit back and just say, well, not much we can do to help unless you tell us what's going on. So I mean, I'm just marked for death at this point. Sounds like whatever you've got going on is pretty hefty.
It's not hefty, just more so. How do we put this uncomfortable? Agnes is going to search in her quiver for a pad and a pencil.
Okay.
And she's going to just very succinctly write down on said pad, pad of paper, that the Jaunty Hat Party is watching me. And this is written. She's not saying this. Just so note.
Mm-hmm. He just nods and he says, okay.
And immediately after everyone's read it, Agnes is going to rip that piece of paper off and hand it to Theo and just go, burn it. Now.
I was gonna say that.
Yep, it's toast.
Thank you.
Yep.
Thank you.
Anytime.
So yeah.
And I think that's when Natalia leans back and leans in the chair a bit, looks at her brother, and she's like, "So you got anything killing you, or after you, or anything like that? Are we just the odd ones out here?"
There's a bull over off of 57 that's got it out for me.
Oh yeah, fuck that guy.
Yeah. The last time they were trying to collect, and you know what? I'm not going to get into it. I'm not going to tell you guys what happened with that bull.
You told me already. I know.
Well, you know. Yeah.
Damn thing's gonna take your leg out. That's what it's gonna do. It's gonna gut you.
Oh yeah. But yeah, as far as people, no, people don't really care. As far as I know, I don't know what happened to the Baba Yaga hut because it was on fire when we left.
Hopefully it just got turned into some good roast chicken.
Yes. So potential enemy related to that, but if so, I don't know about them.
Does that mean its walls are made of flesh?
You
want to go back and find out?
No.
No.
I think Natalia's just gonna ask that because once he said roast chicken, her brain was like, "Wait, hold on," and just went off.
Listen, I never got the anatomy lesson on those huts. We just harpooned one and, rounded up and all that stuff at one point.
Agnes is just sitting there, concerned, just like.
I think it's more of a cyborg,
So, Chris,
but with wood.
as soon as you said that, you harpooned it and took it down. You have kind of a flash of memory, and you realize that where you harpooned the hut that you saw before is exactly where a part of the house that you saw today was patched up.
Wait a second.
Ooh.
Hold on a second. And he's going to go out to the school bus, and he's going to flip through one of his bookshelves, which has all of his own like personal notes, because he kept, weirdly, he was a better student in the Marines than he was in school. He kept like logs and notebooks for his whole time during the Marines that he just kept
Doesn't
personal.
surprise me.
Just because he wanted to make sure he had a record of everything in case something happened. And he goes back, and like it's a few minutes before he comes back in with one of his older notebooks, and it's just like one of those dollar store like Moleskine notebooks, and he just tosses it on the table, flips it open, and he's like, "Son of a bitch." It was the same hut.
Yeah.
No, like the exact same one. The one we lit on fire was the one that I captured with the crew back in.
So did they send a chicken hut after you?
Seems like it.
Wow, that's. They thought you were small potatoes then, if that was the case.
Well, if it was me alone, yeah. It makes sense now why they were so weird on the outside of that. They weren't monitoring it for weirdness. They were just keeping it
Contained?
set and in place until I could show up.
Hmm.
Explains why.
Is that why they had the guns on me whenever Well, I also did pop out of nowhere. But why would they have the guns on me if there's a chicken house?
I'm pretty sure
That was
me attempting
activated.
to drive the bus into the house through their plans a little out of whack. I think what they wanted was for me to go into the house and heal or get dealt with by its inhabitant instead of, driving a bus through it.
Do we need a... Do we ever deal with her?
I don't think
Nope.
so. No, we cleared out of there. We cleared out of there as we should have. Shouldn't
But
have even touched it.
now that I know what she was being used for, I'm a bit of the opinion that we should just let them have to recapture it themselves.
I support this plan.
If they are even going to recapture it.
Is the house still there?
No, they will. They wouldn't want to lose that valuable of a tool.
Was the house still there?
It is not on any of y'all's. It's not on any of y'all's regular paths.
Well, time for a road trip. And I think that's when Natalia kicks up and turns the chair back around and kicks underneath.
What if we find the house and make friends with it, and then it becomes our new house, and then we don't even need cars because the house can just walk around?
Yeah, someone lives there already. I'm not becoming friends with that or the house.
Okay.
You do not become friends with a Baba Yaga hut. You get eaten by a Baba Yaga hut. Or you get turned into a chicken, which kind of was what was attacking us. Nah.
Does that mean the house lays eggs?
How big are those eggs?
Maybe that house is a rooster.
Oh, wait. There is going to be a moment where...
But the Chrysos.
By the way, Chris, you just got a text message, but the strange thing is, it's just lines and dots.
Morse
Morse
code.
code.
Nice. Same blade. Same brain blade.
And in case you don't know Morse code, like your character does, there is a translator link along with it.
Yeah, I'm about to have to.
So everybody but Chris, give me a weird check.
Yeah. Once Chris reads that, it's like just as this weird check is going off, he's going to be like, we got to pick up and go.
I got a 10 on the dice. Let me double check my weird. 11 total.
That's an 8.
That's a 12 total.
Okay, so anybody that got above a 10, you all realize that something just doesn't feel right. There is something strange. There's been a couple people going in and out, and you don't know exactly when it happened, but you realize that there is somebody here that makes you feel uncomfortable. By the way, Chris, I forgot part of the message, so there's a new version of the message sent to you.
All right. Okay, cool. In that case, I retract my previous statement. He just very quietly looks at his phone, pockets it, and then you'd see him immediately once that weird feeling hits, he'd flip from casual Chris to former military mode. You'd watch the shoulders tighten up a little bit, and you'd watch the eyes start scanning the room without fully turning his head. He's on kind of full alert at this point.
I'm gonna quietly say, do you guys feel something weird?
So with the 8, do you not feel anything? Storyteller.
No, you don't feel anything in regards to what's going on.
Okay.
You do feel a bit more aware, but you don't notice what they are feeling.
Yeah, my spidey sense is tingling.
Agnes is just going to pocket, I guess, her coin. Because she didn't pocket that when she pocketed the letter in the notepad, and just very carefully starts to get up from her seat.
So you said there was somebody in this room making those of us with a 10 or higher uncomfortable. Can we zero in on the person, or is it just a general feeling of someone in here ain't right?
So for you were this was all happening while you were trying to translate your Morse code. But after you kind of look up and that feeling is gone from everybody else. So you missed it.
Oh, okay.
I wouldn't happen to have caught a sort of glance. I probably wouldn't have known.
So that's the thing. Everybody that's come in and out has been a local. You've interacted with every single one of these people all your lives, for those of you that grew up here. And for Agnes, even the short time that you've been here, you've met every single person that's come through the shop today that you've noticed. So you've never felt this out of any of these people before. And it's not the feeling that Chris's aunt gives you. This was a whole separate feeling.
Mm-hmm.
I think Natalia sees, because she knows Chris really well, sees him tense up because she knows his looks. She's going to like stretch and like reach down and make sure that the knife in her boot's still there, just in case.
Oh, it's still there.
All right, cool.
I think we might have to make things a little bit more secure before we continue talking. So,
Should we take that road trip then?
Yeah.
I don't think we should go to anywhere near that house.
I'm thinking we just do a very distant drive-by.
I don't even know if being distant.
I could steal
Whichever-
I could steal my mom's binoculars, and she does bird watching. She's got good binoculars.
I
What
noticed that.
Fucking woodpeckers, though. I'm tired of listening to their bullshit.
But I also got somewhere to be. I wouldn't mind y'all coming with me, but gotta be there in 2 days, and I'd rather not talk about it here. So, y'all want to take a little bus ride? Come on.
Yeah, let's all go crowd into your bus.
I will follow behind in my car. If need be.
I know it's hard to talk over the radio sometimes if we're in separate vehicles.
It's not a separate radio thing. It's just a in case Goodfellows call kind of thing.
Do they have a car phone? Is this the 1980s?
I wish it was the 19 no, it's more so of a
Oh, hang on, guys.
potentially I get pulled off on a side project kind of deal. Something's been up with Polaris. I haven't been able to talk to them in a bit.
Well, where I gotta be in 2 days might give you a bit of information about what's going on, so. You got
I'll
time.
see. First of all, I gotta clear this with my uncle.
All right. I'm not telling you where we're going until you clear it, though.
Fair.
It's not that I don't trust you, it's just that I don't trust the eyes on you, so.
Wouldn't be the first. Wouldn't be the last. Talk to y'all in a bit. And Agnes is going to just leave the tea shop. Probably even hasn't even touched her coffee.
I think that's when Natalia takes it.
All right,
I
once,
mean, that if you like nothing but sugar and high anxiety spike, enjoy.
Won't be the first time. Won't be the last time.
all right, once Agnes has left and it's out of earshot, Theo's going to go, okay, what is Agnes's deal? What is the coin?
Different, I don't know, just weird family stuff. I don't understand agency, bureaucracy bullshit. Like,
What's going on?
Long story
one
short,
told me.
the general operation is everything's classified unless you both work for the same people or somebody gets paid more than you.
Well, I guarantee they get paid more than me.
I mean, it depends on the day if they get paid more than me or not.
Last I heard, she was on probation, so she might still be an unpaid intern for all I know.
Isn't it a family thing though? Like,
These things get weird. It'll be whole families working for them, but there'll be, full pay structures and all that stuff. It's more akin to a family business. Just a business that likes to play things a little close to the chest. And as he's saying all this, he's going to pull his phone out, and I would assume he has like previously demanded an encrypted chat with his aunt just because, you know, she's a little weird and he's a little weird, so he wouldn't want anybody peeking on that. And he's just going to send his aunt a text and say, "Do you know anything about the actual leaders of Hexwood?"
So to do a basically encrypted chat with her, it's not through normal apps on your phone.
Oh, by no means. Like this is like some full out burner phone bullshit.
Well, it's not even that. It's she touched your phone and you had a new app on your phone, and it's constantly changing the icon and sometimes the name. And sometimes you're pretty sure that it's alive inside your phone.
Eh, it's not the weirdest living inanimate object she's given me, so it's fine.
But anytime that you put a message into the app, it disappears from your phone and then it pops back up when there's been a return message.
Sounds good.
The message that you get back just reads, "Do you mean the people that run the underbelly, the supernatural side of things, or the real everyday leaders of the city?"
I'll use the exact words that I saw in the documentation, which were Shadow Council.
Okay.
So I'll just say, like, whatever people refer to as the Shadow Council in, like, quotation marks to emphasize that it's an official title.
So the message that you get back is an address and a time later that night. And the address is the old gas station kind of towards the middle of town that has a small 2-car garage setup. It was the first gas station in Hexwood, and it's just kind of still around. You don't really ever see people go in there. There's like some old timers that go because it's the only full service station in town.
Mm-hmm.
But outside of that, like, it's a place that like kids would go because you could still get like 25-cent gum and 50-cent candy bars, and like even to this day, like kids will go there because somehow or another he still has boxes of candy and bubble gum from brands that people haven't really heard of, and they're dirt cheap and they taste pretty good.
All right, so I'll relay to the group. I'll also relay this to Agnes too, and just say, like, hey, I've got an appointment at the old gas station tonight. So if any of y'all want to come, you're welcome to join me. But for now, let's do that drive-by, huh?
I can go with you somewhere tonight.
Why are you gonna say it like that, Theo?
Like what? Say like what?
It's an old gas station. All right.
All right, time for another trip. Let's go. I think Natalia's gonna start pushing him out the door.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm having a lot of fun playing the straight man, who's probably not actually straight.
No, definitely not straight.
I'm playing the idiot chaos machine.
Idiot chaos machine number 2.
I love it. So yeah,
So
like,
just for the folks' records at home, we've got potentially straight man, we don't know, idiot chaos child number 2, and then moody sack of bone.
Good times all around.
Oh yeah.
It's totally. I swear to y'all, I try to make my archers separate, but right now they're both in character camp of I just want to brood.
They're both moody ghost dupers. It's fine.
So I just have one question for Agnes, since we haven't actually touched on this, and I just remembered this because somebody did send in a message. It's been a couple of days in game time, and you haven't mentioned taking time for your girlfriend. Did you forget?
No, the Kelsey thing was just me rolling with it. Agnes wasn't actually dating her.
No, not Kelsey. You were dating another person that was there that night. You said that was your link to it, was that you were dating somebody in the class. And
No, that was Nat. That was Nat.
Oh, okay.
That was me.
I was taking the class
Well,
because I'm a college student.
the question still applies. It just now it applies to Nat.
Yeah, it was specifically towards Agnes, but so now I'm curious, like, apparently somebody else misremembered it, because I was like, yeah, sure, I think Agnes, yeah. So, Nat, you haven't mentioned your girlfriend. Are you still together? Have you been seeing her through all this, or?
I don't even know her name, honestly. So, no.
Sounds like y'all ended.
Yeah, I think it's over.
Did you just forget that you were seeing someone?
Probably more likely that I was too busy caught my own deals.
That happened to me in high school.
Oh,
Okay, too real.
All right. Now that we got on the weirdness, you drive kind of over towards that neighborhood. And the closer that you get, you do see the fire department trucks out, as well as the volunteer fire department trucks out. They're blocking off roads. They're blocking off a lot of the areas nearby, and you could still see some smoldering in the distance. Oddly enough, it does smell as if you're going through the drive-thru at the Chicken Shack. Like, the closer that you get, like, even with the windows up, like, as the cold air is blowing through the AC, all of a sudden just the bus just fills up with this smell of Chicken Shack. And
it's too early for chicken.
I didn't get to eat before stream, and my KFC closes. It's already closed. How dare you do this to me?
I'm sorry. I'm eating chicken, so people just need to normalize eating on stream. Like, seriously, I don't.
I mean, yes,
Yeah.
but I didn't get time to go because by the time I finished up all my portfolio stuff, it was 10 minutes till call, and then y'all were like, "Hey, Rainy, you alive?"
So as we're going by, the minute I smell the roast chicken smell, I'm just gonna like turn to Theo, who's probably riding shotgun to the bus, knowing Theo,
Oh yeah.
and I'm just gonna be like, "Well, I'm gonna take the smell as a good sign."
I'm really hungry now.
It is fucking too early for chicken. Shut up. And Natalia's like probably just sitting in the back, like just sort of like looking out the window, and she sees all the roads blocked up, and she's like, "Hey, stop the car for a second. Stop the bus."
Yep, and just immediately pulls it over, throws it in park.
And that's when Natalia hops out and starts making the long lap around.
Take the binoculars.
Giving the fucking bird watching bullshit.
So, what do you mean by the long way around?
Like trying to like go through the and you say there's woods behind the house, right?
Correct.
Yeah, I think she's gonna dip into the woods and like try to like make her way over to where the house was.
So you kind of get over there, and there's some kind of large tarps up, the kind that you would normally see, like if a house is getting fumigated for bugs, or but instead of being in the shape of the house, which is what would normally be, they're hanging. They have got two fire truck ladders up, and they've got something between them, and they're hung over that. And it seems to be that they've got multiple trucks positioned, and so where that house was is fairly blocked off. The only thing is you don't see any firefighters anywhere, or at least the firefighters that you do see, the insignias on their jackets are not Hexwood firefighter or volunteer fire department, and you don't recognize any of them. And it's not just like, oh, hey, maybe it's a new person. Like every single firefighter that you've seen while you're hanging out, trying to get a good look, none of them, and you've seen about 20. So the likely chance that you don't know 20 people that work at a fire station, the actual fire station has a total of 20 full-time firefighters,
And
and EMS.
Theo's my brother. I would know the fire department by name and by face.
Yes.
And
They
The
then,
know
whole
them very well.
hey Gerald, tell your kids I said hi. Oh, Susie for
How's Nancy doing, y'all? Like, I heard she had her baby.
the few people that are in the volunteer uniforms, because pretty much anybody in the area, even like the small, tiny areas that are just outside of town, there's people. That's actually where the volunteer fire department is, because it's for farms and things like that. You may or may not recognize some of them, but the problem is you don't recognize anybody that's there, and the ones that have the volunteer uniforms on, they do not look like they've ever like worked a day in their life in the fields or around livestock.
So if comparison wise, how high are these canvas walls going compared to, let's say, the roof of a neighbor's house? Like, judging from like where I'm standing, would Nat be able to decipher, like, okay, if I get on that roof, I can see what's in?
So the houses that are right nearby are all like 1.5 story houses. This house was a 2-story
Yeah.
that had been there before.
Not that enough, yeah.
However, this is East Texas, deep East Texas. If you carefully climb up, those trees are way taller.
Oh yeah, this is a bunch of pines. Yeah, fuck it, I'm climbing a tree.
climb the pine.
I'm not gonna make you roll for it.
Talia's grew up in these woods. She knows how to climb these trees.
These can be a little bit more difficult in some of the areas, but I'm not gonna assume that you don't know how to do that because you did grow up here. As you get above it, you notice that while a big part of the house, like the leg areas and some of that does look like it's been cooked and things like that, you do notice that in the middle of the yard, the witch has about 20 chains on her. And like she's anything that she tries to do, like she is trying to fly, and she's probably about a good 5-6 feet off the ground, but the chains won't let her go any higher. But the problem is that you see these devices near her that look like something out of a science fiction film. They look like some kind of giant science fiction test tubey thing. You're really not sure. This is not your department. And it kind of reminds you of like the beginning of Aliens, where they all got out of those pods, but much bigger. And then you remember this old movie, The Fly, and it's kind of like those, but a little bit smaller. And then you think about that game that your cousin played, Warhammer 40K, and they had little drop pods where like the guys came down from, out of space, and it kind of looks like those. Like it kind of looks like a mesh up of different stuff, sci-fi, and your brain just kind of like starts flying back and forth in what it could be.
That fucking nerd was right.
Owe that kid a candy bar.
Oh god, fuck that kid.
But then you do notice one that's a little bit different than the others, and it's the one that has kind of the more of like the fly look to it. And they take the bodies of the UN soldiers that were crushed by the house, and they'll put one in, and then a few minutes later, somebody comes like staggering out, looks very much like the person they just put in, and then a medical team is on standby, shoots them up with something. You can't really tell from this, but you see them hold something to their neck, and then they seem to kind of like walk a little more normal, but it doesn't seem like whatever that thing is that it's fully healing them or something. It's a very strange looking device.
Hey, Jules, the question about the binoculars, because you're the one who brought this into story. Is it just plain old binoculars, or are they like camera binoculars, or?
Or like, or
I'm
are
gonna
they
say-
like? Sorry.
I'm gonna say that they're camera binoculars so that she can share pictures of birds that she's seen with her other birding friends.
Yeah.
Aw.
Because
I
that's
think
what I would do if I was a birder.
Yeah, I think so. I think
Also-
Natalia's taking photos.
Also, camera binoculars are the good things.
Yeah. So Natalia's taking a couple photos. She's still of that, and then she's just going to like, this is not my shit, and like slides down the tree, just like, and starts making her way back to the boys.
So you get back to the bus and you start showing everybody the photos, and they're all out of focus and blurry. The thing is that you know how to use these well enough to get a decent photo.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, there's 5 photos in succession that are not blurry. And the top of that pod that they were putting the bodies in, they're pulling out a small container, and you can't see inside the container, but there's no light to it. It's a very dim-looking container. And then they're carrying over another container that's like got a bluish light to it, and they plug it into the top, and then every photo after that again is blurry.
So see, what's happening in this photo is you can't tell from the abstract art that he decided to give me. God damn it.
This happened when we tried to use cell phones on the house before too. I wouldn't worry about it.
Yeah. Anywho, they were, I think, keeping like an eye on her and resurrecting the fallen men in some way. You're muted.
They're bringing the chicken men back.
No, the fallen people. Also, these are not our firefighters at all.
No, they're not. I don't see Carl anywhere.
Carl owes me $20, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
He lost that game at poker. He needs to fucking pay me.
Needs to pay you.
Carl.
Carl!
Carl.
Oh, hi, Kyle.
Oh, any photos that you took of the outside areas, like not pointed at where they're doing everything inside the tent, comes out. It just seems to be everything. Anytime that you have those pod devices in any frame of the photo's blurry. So if you took photos of all of the firefighters and things like that, like all of those would be nice and perfect because you're pointing down towards the firefighters, or when you were level with everybody and you took those photos. It just seems to be any time that the pods would have been in the frame.
Would Chris recognize any of this weird super soldier tech? Like, is this the thing that would have been used on him? Is probably the more accurate question.
You don't give me the idea that Chris would have ever died at any point. So I would have to say no.
Okay.
You can decide before next time if you want to retroactively say yes, and I'll give you some hints. But if Chris ever did have a fall that he just couldn't make it back from. But otherwise, you do recognize some of the devices that they're using to heal. It's tech that supposedly came from another dimension.
Yeah, I would just relay that to the group.
I don't even know what to make of that. The ghost just like, If you say so, okay.
Yeah, me and the guys never really believed it wholly ourselves,
It
but at the same time,
it does look fairly standard. Like it looks a little extra. Um, it does look a little bit extra, but the thing is that it it's like the difference between a regular blender and a blender with like a company's logo slapped on the top.
mm-hmm.
Like that's really like it's just like a different paint job, or it's like playing a video game and you get a different skin for your character or something. It's still the same character, just they look a little different. You got a new costume, woo, bunny ears. Like it's not a huge difference. You've seen medical devices like this before, um, but it does have like a little bit of a weirdness to it. Like it just doesn't seem the way that the person interacts from before and after in the 5 photos that you have from inside there that you can clearly see. You can see the person with a limp and then they go to like almost walking completely normal.
Yeah, these guys are definitely UN. They're the only ones with those kinds of resources, and I've seen their med techs use this stuff before. So,
Oh, I
it's a bit
will say
different, but
you did hear a rumor about pods like this, but it kind of goes into the same vein as like tech from another dimension. Kind of like, really?
yeah, for him, I would assume he's seen probably more like the, what they were getting injected with as like the perk up kind of idea, where he's probably seen them do some weird stuff with like regrowing or reattaching limbs, but not necessarily reassembling whole people.
Oh, that and like super soldier experiments with like a temporary stem. Like you saw people go for like 2 months without sleeping. And not like idly going, not like hanging out, sitting in a tent, going for a really long time without sleeping, like full on mission oriented, constantly doing like their Sentry 24/7, like just no sleep. And then they would disappear for a couple days and come back and do a normal.
So would this be a good time to bring up what my weird is, just for story reasons?
You definitely can.
Because Chris's weird is no limits. When you need to push your physical body past its limits, roll plus weird.
Oh.
What does that sound like to you?
Super soldier, Captain America.
That was an unintentional story beat, but I'll take it.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, introducing Captain Cerberus, your superhero.
Oh God, no! It's a horrible
He's
hero
now
name.
the UN's ass. Not just America's. The entire United Nations.
No.
That's
No.
a quarter off that.
On an unrelated thing, I need to talk to Basilisk about some more concept art for the show.
I hate y'all.
Like, you're the one who brought it up?
Please, you appreciate us.
I refuse to see my boy put in a Captain America suit. I'm just saying.
Don't worry, it won't be a Captain America suit.
It'll be Winter Soldier, honestly. You're much more a Bucky Barnes vibes.
Mm.
Yeah, with the hair he's got, yeah. Shit. The best part about this is it was unintentional.
We love unintentional character designs.
That's it. So yeah, he's just gonna relay like, yeah, no, they've used this shit before, and they used it on me to patch me up a few times and test a few things, but. So now we know that the UN is here in force and doing some weird shit. Well, I don't know about y'all, but I need some food.
That sounds great.
Drive through?
Yes, chicken.
All right. I also got that appointment, and he'll just like use that as his term for it going forward tonight. And then I've got an 8-hour drive, most likely starting late tomorrow to get where I need to be. So,
Where are you going?
probably in the bus.
We're in the bus.
Oh, okay. Well, in that case, we'll just say, got a text message, and somebody wants me to meet him on Route 66, South Texas. They told me to run.
Well, that's scary.
I'm not good at running. At
You're
least
not.
not running away from shit.
That's true. You did get sacked a lot in high school. I'm just fucking with you.
I mean, you're not wrong. But, yeah. So, I've got that, and I would assume, like, Agnes is probably in her car, but, like, on speakerphone or something like that, as I'm saying all this shit out loud, just so that Agnes knows what the hell's going on.
Probably. I mean, she muted her mic, so you can't tell, but you assume with the way the call is still going that yes, she's listening.
If you miss it, you miss it. That's on you. So yeah, we're gonna go pull through a drive-through and get some like.
She is listening. She
Early
just
morning
has it
fried chicken.
muted because if I may take control of the scene, take control of the camera, as it were, DM or storyteller. Because by the time Agnes actually like answers the phone, she's sitting at the kitchen table with her uncle and probably has put it on speaker but muted the mic, so her uncle couldn't start yelling at Chris.
So, when you get home, your uncle's not there.
What the fuck?
Nani?
Nani the fuck?
And
Say what
there's no communication in the way that he normally puts out communication for you. No hidden notes.
No hidden notes. Okay. Anything of his left out? Any like project he was in the middle of?
Actually, this is the cleanest that you've ever seen the house.
Shit. Can I immediately like run back to where I know he keeps the good, like his Goodfellows records? Because, you know, stashes.
So strange thing. There's a wall where there used to be a door.
You can punch through drywall.
No, I can't.
Yes, you can. I believe in you.
Do you have like a -3 or something?
No. It's a minus. Oh, my tough? It's a 0.
That's not too bad.
But if this is like a drywall wall, but I'm assuming that by when you said there's a wall, my brain was like, oh, they decided to go old school brick and mortar, bricking up this door.
If the house is brick and mortar and the walls are brick and mortar inside, it looks like any other wall on the interior.
Okay. So this house is probably one of the older kind of revamped ones from original Hexwood. Kind of deal. So take that into actual construction of your mind, as you will. So there's a wall there. That is very concerning. Agnes is going to take photographic evidence of that, of the house. So if it's safe to say that that the Goodfellow records are walled off, then oof. Agnes is going to go to her room, grab essentially what she's been living out of, which is her suitcase. And throw that into her van. and just
So when you pick
peeling
up your
out.
suitcase,
Oh no.
it feels extremely light.
You've got to be kidding me.
And when you look inside, there's a single note. And it's the address and the time that you saw in the text from earlier. From Chris.
So, from Chris.
It's okay. We can go to Target and get you some new clothes.
I mean, actually, that's probably why Agnes actually has left her phone on mute then. Because while she has been carrying it, trying to scramble all this shit for all this crap, she has been very... She's been running through a litany of curse words. She's gone from German to Russian. It's still in a little bit of Russian. And then just cycles back to just absolute chaos. I would also like to put a slight note that the German and Russian are older dialect curses as well. So, like, this is stuff she learned from her past lives, is what I'm heavily hinting at.
Ye old cursing.
Ye old cursing.
So we never actually named the chicken shack. Do y'all have a specific name that you'd like for the chicken shack?
The Chicken Shack.
Just the
Chicken
chicken
Shack
shack.
is a
It
really
is
good.
just the Hexwood Chicken Shack.
It's the Hexwood chicken. That's it. That is it.
And they name it the Hexwood Chicken Shack as if it's some kind of franchise. It's not. It's the only one.
They probably tried opening an extra one in town, but it never stuck. Or in other towns, but they all fell through, and the only one that stands is the Hexwood Chicken Shack.
So there actually is a second location. It was a Church's Chicken that tried to come to town and that ended up closing. So it very much looks exactly like the Church's Chicken, except that like somebody just like went and just like put Hexwood Chicken Shack over the sign, but it's still the same shape as the Church's Chicken. And that's the other thing. All the businesses here, you know, none of the big names can seem to like really get a foothold here.
It's all mom and pop shops.
Mm-hmm.
Not even Target.
Or in some cases, Baba Yaga shops.
No.
Stop! Chris!
I don't know. Old Granny Bayworth always seemed a little bit weird.
She had dementia, that's why.
Oh no. Okay.
Eldritch Corvid! Eldritch Corvid!
Don't look at
How
me. I
dare
didn't
you
make the
say
dementia
these
joke.
things? No, you said it all, and it all came from your mouth.
I was just
Every
going weird
single
old lady
word.
vibes.
We're talking about the Baba Yaga implication. If that house sits on you,
In Hexwood, all buildings dance.
But yeah, I think we're gonna get some food, and then we'll probably like cruise around town for a bit. And unless other folks have things they want to do, we got a meeting to get to. Gotta talk to somebody about a shadow council.
I got nothing to do.
There's probably a point where like Chris, like Nat and Theo would probably see it. Chris's phone starts ringing, and like it's probably sometime after Chicken Shack, and he's just like sees it and immediately throws it to voicemail and then puts it away.
Was that a scary person?
Yep.
I gotta
My
say,
mom.
I'm real nervous about you going out there alone to Route 66.
I mean, y'all can come with me if you want.
I think maybe I should. Something might need to be lit on fire, and I'd be very handy for that.
I mean, if you're looking to bring a little heat, I ain't gonna stop you.
Flame on.
I think Natalia's just like laying in Chris's bed, like taking a nap after eating and just like trying not to laugh so hard. But you get her shoulders just shaking. Like her face is buried in the pillow, just like her body's just shaking. Oh, oh, you said it was your mom? What does she want?
Don't know. Don't care.
I'll talk to her.
I already hung up.
Oh, okay.
As the phone starts buzzing again, and he just like reaches in his pocket and hangs it up in his pocket.
So I'll talk to her. You know she loves me.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm sure that'd go real well.
It's
Alright.
fine.
Listen, I've already been kicked out. I don't need you getting me disowned.
Look.
As far as I know, I'm still in the will, and I don't want you changing that.
All right, fine.
Has Natalia caught on to the fact that Theo is crushing on Chris?
I'm pretty sure Natalia's known
That's
for
known.
a while.
That's why she's like, anytime like Chris, Theo's trying, she's just trying like, oh god, he is the worst flirt.
It's so much fun.
Yeah, no, Agnes will just roll up to the meeting spot, like probably way too early, but she has nothing else to do, so she's gonna roll up there and wait.
There's just a point where like the bus
Converts
rolls
converts her car back into like a crash pad, essentially.
There's a point where just like the bus rolls up and there's just the smell of chicken shack coming out of it because we made a second trip for dinner. Like a bunch of trash gremlins.
Oh, god. My own lack of gallbladder is currently cringing. And I think actually sometime during all this, Natalia's going to be looking at Chris and be like, so how's Maria?
Is Maria's mom's name?
No, Maria is his sister.
Oh.
He's...
I don't know that though, so I'm gonna go. Who's Maria?
I need to sound so panicked. Maria's my sister, and
I thought you knew Theo.
No.
Yeah, she's doing all right. She's last I heard, she was seeing some. I think it was secretary for the local town council or something like that. I don't know. She's seeing somebody that's in local politics right now. I haven't got to talk to her much since I got back. She's been a little busy.
That's fair. Good for her.
You want to try saying that again a second time, but make it sound like you're convincing me and not yourself?
I think she punches him in the arm. And that's when she gets out of the bus.
Uh-huh. That's what I thought.
So to retroactively, I accidentally sent Chris the wrong information earlier. It's not Route 66 in South Texas. It's FM 666.
Oh, not that one.
Love it.
And
it's an actual route. It's an actual road.
Yeah, it's an actual road.
I'm aware.
Pretty much
Chris
everything else
too.
is real that is being mentioned.
It's such a
only
short road
Hexwood
too. I'm looking at it right now. God dang.
Like, Chris is aware and would not
they-
tell any of y'all where we're going until everybody agrees to go.
Because
Like-
they chopped it up and tried to, like, remove 666. Like, they've changed plate numbers in states. So yeah, that's why it looks short. Sorry for interrupting. As we continue.
But yeah, this is the gas station meetup tonight.
Does anybody have anything that they want to do before they go there.
No, I'm good.
Trying to debate if Natalia wants to do a dumb or not. I think Natalia's gonna.
date.
Yeah, I think she's gonna, as like they're waiting. I think Natalia's just gonna like go start going through her contacts and just see that she still has one of Maria's numbers. She doesn't even know it's the actual same one or not, and just text her like, "Hey, it's been a while. How are you?" Like sort of thing.
There's a moment too where like we're all just like eating chicken shack and Chris is scrolling through his phone and he says, "Oh yeah, new girl's name is Jessie, by the way."
Oh.
Because like Chris says it just to like rub it in a little bit and be a bit of a jerk, but he also says it so that Talia can be well prepared.
Then she just gives him a look and just like nods, but yeah, she sends a text to Maria, puts it on the universe. It's on her to text her back. Like,
Please tell me that Nat has Maria's contact number as "Dear Maria, count me in." Please, please, I need.
No, what it was is Chris stole her phone and changed it to that, and she never changed it back as a prank.
pretty much. He basically got into her phone while she was taking a nap on this couch and like used her fingerprint to open up her phone.
Basically.
So the messages don't come to you, but instead Chris gets a slew of messages basically being like, why is she messaging me? I thought that this chapter of my life was closed. I know that she's your friend. Why is she messaging me? Are you with her? Can you tell her to stop? I don't want issues with my current relationship. I can't go down this route again. I can't say no to her.
That's an interesting one. That's an interesting one. There'd be a moment of like Chris is considering just turning his phone around and letting Natalia see everything, and then he sees the "I can't say no to her" and very quickly shuts down that thought. He's just like, all right, we're just gonna put the phone on silent. And then like this whole time the phone was like on probably like a side table while they've been parked, so it just started vibrating incessantly, and then he just sweeps it up and puts it on silent and puts it away.
Like that's what your phone was like, and then like you put it on silent, and like now it's just screen flash, screen flash, screen flash. Do you have the thing on your phone where it's set up so that like if your phone is face down, the flashlight on the back flashes a couple times to let you know that you're getting messages? So no matter how you position your phone, like there's just this flashing going on.
And like there is no time like difference between when Natalia sends the message and when my phone starts blowing up.
Agnes, as you're walking up, the bus is like pretty much dark except for this like random flashing. And the flashing seems to kind of move around, so you're not quite sure what's going on, but the bus has a lot of light coming from it.
I think Natalia sees that and like just gives him a brow like, who's trying to get up your ass right now?
Chris just turns around and says, might not be the best idea to text Maria again.
Oh, is that her right now? What's she saying?
My mom texted me.
And I'll just say, don't think you want to know.
I mean, it was worth a shot. Shit. Okay. And I think when she gets out of the bus and like sort of kicks a rock or something.
I will point out that there is a point where like at least Nat would know that for Maria to immediately text him means that she still has Nat in her phone. Because otherwise she'd have just like absolutely deleted it because it would have been an unknown number.
Yeah.
So it's just like Chris is just like texting Maria back and he's like, listen, maybe she just wants to be nice. I don't know. It's Nat. I'm not supposed to know what Nat thinks. And then he just follows that up with a, so how's Jesse? Just be a little bit of
20 like text messages later. So how's Jess?
Yep.
So I'm gonna message you something in Gilded right quick, and you're gonna say yay or nay whether you want me to say this out loud to everybody else.
Who? Chris?
Sorry, Chris. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think Natalia's sitting on the bumper whenever Agnes like gets out, and she just sort of like gives like a head nod, like, "Hey, you made it."
And fun fact, Agnes looks way worse.
Girl.
She is just in so Agnes was wearing a flannel, like a flannel shirt over like a spaghetti strap tank top and capris. The only reason why I'm mentioning this is because the flannel is gone. It's not even tied around her waist. She like shucked it somewhere in the car. Her hair is a disheveled mess.
So
Are you
I'm
okay?
gonna there's a point where Chris just goes still in the bus and takes a minute to contemplate. And then he just kind of smirks and he screenshots that message. And he sends it to Nat.
Oh.
Nat's gonna like while she's like saying like what's up to Agnes, her phone goes off and she pulls out her phone, starts and looks down.
And then the text I sent the screenshot along with just says, "Use your power wisely."
So you'll want to check your Gildeds, Nat.
Okay.
And there's just this absolutely like Theo probably just hears this absolutely low, almost evil chuckle come from Chris for a second, and then he just puts his phone away.
There is something
Y'all
going
are
on. I don't know what it
nasty.
is.
Awful, terrible siblings.
The amount of drama that is occurring in DMs right now.
I
But
want
yeah.
it.
So there's just this evil chuckle from the bus as Chris steps out and he looks at Agnes and he just says, "You look like you got to put yourself back together a little bit."
Let's just get this over with.
Yep. Sounds good to me. And he goes, like, he steps out of the bus, turns around, like, pulls a foot locker over, the one that he pulled the flamethrower out of earlier. And he's just like, all right. And he goes through, like, full, like, self-arming mode with the jacket on and all that stuff. So he tucks a couple knives in his belt. He tucks one in his boot. You know, he's just hiding weapons all over himself in the classic movie style.
That is so sexy.
Do you say this out loud, Theo?
Yes. Yeah, actually.
Chris just freezes and he's like, he's like holding one of the big hunter's like Bowie knives, and he's just like, I mean, yeah, it's a nice knife, I guess. And he just like sticks it like behind his back under the jacket.
Agnes, hearing that, seeing what happens, just gives Theo like a slight self-pity look, and then the coin actually the coin is actually now strung through on a chain and is just slung onto her. Like, Agnes is wearing the coin, she's not holding it, so it's out on full display. This old, like, kind of, it's hard to pinpoint. It looks like one of those like coins that people try to make look like ancient Greek, but ends up being really like ancient Roman. It's got that it's that old ancient kind of deal look to it.
So, before we get on to the final scene, if you are watching this episode and not already in our Gilded server, you're going to want to head over there because in the fan chat, as a part of, in the fan chat side of Routes Unknown, is the text. So, if you want to see what that text message was, it is hanging out, and the specific spot in the fan chat forum is called "Hey folks, if you caught episode 6, here's the text." So pretty straightforward thread.
Where is this?
Gilded.
It'll be in Gilded.
I'm not on Gilded.
Oh, we'll get it to you in Discord,
Okay.
and then we'll show you how to get on Gilded.
Okay.
That's it. After he gears up, he's just gonna start heading for that gas station.
Agnes is already pulling out like an arrow from her quiver. It is just
So how
pocketing
close to the gas station do all of y'all park?
Agnes does not park close at all. Doesn't park too close. Like a sort of like easy to sprint to, a little bit longer of a walk, kind of distance.
If we gotta book it, we can get there quick.
And honestly, I think Chris might have pulled up where Agnes pulled up because, as I said before, Agnes just pulled up and camped there because she has nowhere else to be.
Yeah, he'd have
And
pulled the bus.
Doesn't trust anywhere and doesn't trust anyone else in town.
Yep.
Two spots that I can think of that we've kind of talked about. There is a bar right around the corner. We talked about this in the early days. It's a larger outdoor venue, outdoor volleyball, outdoor stage, and there's a lot of parking right around it that is actually owned by the venue and not owned by the venue that people just kind of use. So your cars would blend in there. Outside of that, there's a lot of like little offices, like a law office that is really only like 3 rooms, and like an engineering office, a lot of ag offices around here, a lot of environmental offices. So there's a lot of places that y'all could park that your vehicles would not be completely out of place. There's a lot of people working late.
Agnes
Parking
would have
at the
parked.
bar.
Yeah, Agnes would have parked at the bar because she needed to get food.
So
Park at the bar and walk briskly past the office of Jeremy Barnes, Esquire.
Oro.
Oro.
All right, so right quick, if you join Gilded, we do have an application that just making sure that you kind of understand some things that goes on in the server. Once you join, there's a thing called Read Me First. It's a channel you can go in there. If you click on any of the ats there, you can be added to a fandom. So like RPGHour fans, beacons, all of that. So you'll be able to click on one of those and actually add yourself. You click and it just says add me to roll. You click that and you'll be able to join an area and see everything. So Rogue, I know exactly what you're going for. I know exactly what you're looking for. And that's how you get to it.
I'm so glad I sent that to Nat.
So I think before they go into whatever they're doing, I think Natalia texts Maria again.
Oh no.
And it's like, hey, I understand if you don't want to talk to me. I just want to try to make amends for the things I've done. If you ever find in your heart to hear from me again, I'll be around. Hope you're doing well. And then sends it, puts her phone on mute, and tosses it into her back.
Vile. I
Wow.
love it.
I got to beat my own little chaos gremlin tonight, and I'm very happy. You came here for Monster of the Week, but how about like relationship drama instead?
I mean, that's what Monster of the Week is, right?
Well, that's what
Well,
our
there
monster
have-
of the week is going to be as things go on. Did you bring your phone with you, Chris, or no?
Oh yeah, his phone's still on him for sure.
As y'all are walking down the street, this section doesn't have a whole lot of street lamps. Every so often, you'll see light flashing from Chris's pocket. There's a lot of something going on.
As we're walking, he'll just look at his phone and answer.
It's just a slew of text messages.
It's just a slew of gay panic.
Oh, absolutely.
I love it.
And there's a very specific image in which a bottle of red wine is poured over a very specific dress.
There is a point where Chris just goes, oh no, and then starts cackling like a madman as we go down the street.
Oh my gosh. Okay, this is hilarious. This is hilarious. Agnes is like in semi-disassociation hours because holy shit, her family has been targeted, her uncle's missing, his shit's gone, the Goodfellows shit has been messed with. And then there's that that cognitive dissonance of Agnes just sitting here worrying out of her mind. And then Chris laughs. And she just looks at him, says something in Old Russian, and just walks ahead.
Like, Chris laughs so hard, like he's wiping tears away from his eyes as we round the corner to this gas station.
Is Nat with us? Okay, I'm going to drop back and say to Nat, what is going on? There is something going on here, and I'm not a part of it, and I'm mad about it.
You know, okay. I think she's gonna like lean back so like Chris isn't here, and she's like, "You know Maria. I dated her for like years, like at the last bits of high school, and
Oh,
like
yeah, that girl.
Chris's sister."
Oh, that's Chris's sister. Right. I'd forgotten about that.
No, his talking about his mom made me think of her, so I sent her a text, and
You
she
texted
started.
your ex?
I'm trying to be better, okay? Like,
Where is he?
who?
I need you texting your ex.
So, anyways, apparently she was texting him, still texting him, and texted him this, and she's gonna show her the screenshot. Show him the screenshot.
As you're showing Theo the screenshot, a new screenshot of the dress comes through. So you both see it.
Whoa.
And then the cheeky message afterwards, as Chris is still laughing, is just, thought this might help your night.
Nat, you got game.
Do I? I didn't know.
I
Okay.
mean, game enough to make somebody go, okay, fuck this wedding. I'm pouring white wine all over it, all over this dress.
Oh.
What did you do?
I, as a player, feel terrible. I, as a character, have no regrets.
Of course, Chris has no regrets about his potential.
His sister's the nice one, too.
Chris!
She's like the best.
So as y'all get closer to the station, you realize that the only light coming from it is from around the back. As you get closer, you get over to an area where the windows are a little bit higher, and you can see the back doorway, but there's no light coming from the back door.
All right. Who wants in first?
You. You're heavily armed.
Fair enough.
I could
Uh,
also probably sneak in through a side if anything.
No offense, but I don't think we should do the whole split up and sneak in after the chicken
No.
house.
No, we tried
Not-
that.
Not a great idea.
All right, fine.
Wait, Nat,
But
you got anything with punch on you? Besides boot knife?
let's see here. 1 second. She just like turns and like lifts up the back of her shirt and like shows the 22 that's sticking in the back of her pants.
All right. Good enough.
The bat's a little obvious. I didn't bring it.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, he's just going to very carefully open the door, and he's going to have his other hand on a concealed weapon beneath his jacket.
So you walk in. And you're all caught off guard. This wasn't what you were expecting. Because standing in here is people like Chris's aunt and Agnes's uncle and y'all's mom. Oh wait, sorry. Y'all share a mom, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I thought that was right, and then I second guessed myself. Yeah, no, your mom is there. And then there's a few other people from around town, and they're all very much not the kind of people that you would expect for something like this. Considering that the Shadow Council is rumored to be a much darker organization.
Well,
And then that agent from the FBI that's been working with the UN walks out. I'm so glad y'all were finally able to make it. We've been waiting for you. And we'll pick up next time.
Ah! And right on the dot too. Man, you did not
Well
miss a
done,
beat.
yeah. We finally get to meet Theo and Nat's mom. That poor woman.
That poor woman.
I wrecked a wedding tonight. I am happy.
Well done.
God, you terrible human.
I'm sad that y'all gave that away because that was like a hook to get people into the server for information, and y'all like
Cred.
you gave it
I
away
mean-
too.
Listen, it was going to come out at some point because the screenshots and the pictures and things that were being said.
Yeah.
It's fine.
So let's do some outros. We will go. My brain just died on everybody's names. So Nat, Chris, Agnes, and Theo.
All right. Hi, I played Natalia, she, her. My name is Morgan, they, them, she, her. You can find me on all the socials at Serena Bezos. You can see me mostly on Utopia TV, doing a lot of stuff there with Kahania, Donuts and Jewels, and Game at a Glance. Just follow me on Twitter. It's a lot easier than that.
And I'm Eric. You can find me at Eldritch Crow all over the internet, on Twitch with 2 W's. And I played Chris this evening. His pronouns are he, him. Mine are he, they. And yeah, you can catch me here every other Wednesday being a chaos being. You can also catch me Sundays running Beacons of Calistri, another RPG Hour produced show as well. Every other Sunday, pardon me.
Hello, hi. I'm Rainy. Rainy Keys here on Twitch at Rained Keys on Twitter. My pronouns are she, they. I played Agnes Wolf, the professional. Her pronouns are she, her. And you can also catch me every other Sunday with Crow, being another extra angsty archer known as Alyssa Vesper. And she is more of the necromantic variety.
I'm Jules. I played Theo. My pronouns are she, her, and Theo's pronouns are he, him. You can find me on Twitter at SQLPi. It's SQLPI. From there, you can also find links to my other work, to my writing and my SQL DBA work.
We're going to talk about this in post, but I have a question about something that you just said, Rainey. So this is Routes Unknown, a part of the RPGHour Studios network. We do have an upcoming show that we are currently, at the time of this live stream, casting for. It's going to be the Tangent Space RPG actual play show run by Tangent Space himself. And we do have a lot of other shows. You can find those at rpghour.com, or you can head over to Twitter at RPGHour, and you'll be able to find out a lot of the different kinds of things. And next week will be the season finale for season 1, and then we will have a one session break, and we will come back in the later part of June. So it will only be the 3rd week of June, not the 1st and 3rd week of June. And I feel like I'm forgetting something. But until the dice roll again.
Bye.
Bye.